Taxes on Social Security, taxes on RMDs, required distributions, tax on pensions. We're going to dive right into that here. I had a good comment from Chris on my YouTube channel about what if Barry, remember we did Barry, the 2 episodes previous on Barry is going to be retired from the post office. He has $20,000 of pension. And Chris said, hey, what if Barry, instead of doing the whole 30,000 Roth conversions with $20,000 IRA distributions, because that's a pretty significant tax bite up front. What if he just did $20,000 IRA distributions to supplement his $20,000 pension and to allow his Social Security to continue to grow with the delayed earnings credits? And we're going to talk about that here right now. That's a wonderful observation. And we're going to see what the numbers look like. Because for me, I got spreadsheeted. I'm a nerd like that, but man, I love it. So I appreciate, Chris, your comment there. And Barry, you know who you are. Appreciate you jumping on board and sharing your information with us. So let's dive right in. Before we do, don't forget to subscribe. This is the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel, the place you come to learn about taxes and retirement. So let's go right into this. So what I've done here, and I'll have a follow-up of the 3 strategies and show you which ones in terms of tax. We're just going to go into everything, and I'll do that in the next episode. All right, but what we have here, we have tax on $20,000 IRA distributions. Distro is distributions. And again, so the premise is Barry has $20,000 a year from Social Security, from pension. All right, so when he hits 62 years old, he has $20,000 from his pension, but he needs $40,000 of income. All right, so he can take Social Security at 62 and get $20,000, which would make up for his income needs. So he needs $40,000. In that scenario, we take $20,000 from his pension and $20,000 from Social Security and not touch his IRAs at all. We already did an episode on that. Or, like the episode I just did, we can take $20,000 from his pension, allow his Social Security to accumulate with the delayed earnings credits until he's 70. In the interim, take $20,000 from his IRA to spend because he needs $40,000 a year, but also have $30,000 being converted to Roth IRAs. We just did a video on that, and Chris's point was that's a pretty significant tax hike up front. Is there an in between? And here's the in between where we're saying we're going to allow Social Security to continue its 8% growth each year because you're not touching it until you're 70. And instead, we're just going to augment that $40,000 the $40,000 we need because we're only getting $20,000 from pension with an IRA distribution of $20,000 a year. All right. So again, not touching Social Security. We do have pension kicking in, and we are going to have $20,000 a year coming from our IRA, which was what it will look like. And so again, we have $350,000. Barry has 7%. We're assuming 7% investment returns across the board. Frankly, do whatever you want to do. 7% is a nice number to choose, and that's what we're going to go with. So you can say, well, I'm going to get 12%. No. I get 2%. No. It's just 7%. Let's just use that. Maybe 6% is better, but I like 7%. All right. So what are we looking at here? All right, so when he's 62 in 2019, he has $350,000 in his IRA, 401k. He's going to take $20,000 out. All right, so we have this amount of I-45 minus $20,000, and he's going to get the remainder to grow at 7%. Now the tax on that $20,000, I already did all this actually, so I'm not going to watch me go through this. I already did all this in my spreadsheet. Is $3,170. All right, so that's what his tax. It won't just be the tax on the IRA the distribution, but remember what we do is we take the provision, not the provisional income, but we take the $20,000 from his pension, and the $20,000 he's taken from his IRA distribution, subtract $12,800 because that's his standard deduction, and we're left with $28,000. So we take 20 pension, 20 IRA distribution, 40,000, subtract our standard deduction of 12,000, and we're left with 28,000 of taxable income. And that right there is his tax on that amount. We do that until he's 65 when our standard deduction goes to 13,300, and that's his tax right there. Okay, so we have 3,014 from 65 until he hits the end of age 69, which is when he was going to pay these taxes before he has to take required distributions out from his IRA. All right, so now, just bear with me. This is the taxes he pays in these 8 years. He pays roughly $24,500 in taxes. You follow on that? I don't know if I need to reiterate that again, but if you comment down below. But again, 20,000 pension, 20,000 IRAs, $40,000 of gross income, subtract his standard deduction, and the remainder is subject to income tax, and that is his taxes. We add all these up, and that's what we get right there. 24,580 is the amount of taxes he pays. Now, again, he hasn't taken Social Security. All right. So basically what happens when Social Security kicks in at 70, we no longer need to take the 20,000 out from his IRA because Social Security is more than enough to cover the $20,000 IRA distributions. So the only thing we have to take out from his IRA is RMDs, required minimum distributions, which are completely subject to income tax. So now we have a pension, we have RMDs, and we have Social Security. And again, I already ran all the numbers on this. I already did the calculations. You don't need me to watch. It took me about 2 hours to run all this stuff for the various routines we're trying to do, but it's worth it. So at the end of the day, his taxes are no longer going to be $3,000. It'll be $4,500 because of those three sources of income: Social Security, required distributions, and his pension. All right. So now we do this each and every year. And you can see we start getting up. So again, the first year is 27.4. The year 5 is 23.8, the divisor. And again, his IRA is still growing at 7%. All right. So here's what we're seeing. We start with 416,000 right here at the age of 73. We have a divisor of 24.7. So we take 416,000 is what we started with is what we literally ended with on 31 December. Same thing as 1st of January. We divide that by 24.7. We get that RMD amount. Then we come over here and we take this amount right here, the 416 he started with, subtract this RMD, and we times the rest by 7%. And that gives us an ending balance of 427,830. Which is where he has a higher RMD the following year. And not only does he have a higher required minimum distribution amount of the actual account balance, but the actual amount he's got to withdraw is higher too because the divisor is 23.8. All right, so you got a higher building balance. So we started the year at 416,000. We only withdrew 16,000 of that, which is not 7%. We added to the principal. And so now our amount that we have to withdraw from has gone from 1416 to 427, and the divisor has increased too, or in this case actually decreased, because what happens is 24.7 was a divisor the following year, 23.8 this year, which means there's two double whammies in increasing your RMD. And here's the taxes. So we do all this until he dies. So old Barry dies at age 85. He left an IRA balance of $498,000, and in that last year he had to pay $10,979 in taxes on $33,000 of RMD, $32,800 in Social Security, and $20,000 in pension. We're not adjusting pensions or Social Security for cost of living at all. We're just saying it's a flat amount. And look, man, this isn't science here. This is just basic math. I mean, my goodness, you can inflate it. We're not even going to get 7% a year. I guarantee that. I have no idea what it's going to be, but I assure you it's not going to be a 7% year over year linear. It's not. It just gives you something to chomp on. So none of these numbers are going to come to fruition. It's not because Josh is stupid. It's because it doesn't work like that. It's not 7% each and every year. It does not work like that. But at least it gives you something to base your opinion on. Now, you could say, well, I think I'll get 4% this year and 11%, and that's fine, but there's no basis to that. It's just your thoughts. I mean, you can run those all day long, but it'll be wrong, and this will be wrong. The minute we're done here, it's wrong, because I guarantee you're not going to get 7% each and every year, which is not. So what happens is, but that's the best we can do because we can't predict the future. So at the end of the day, and let's see, he had 33,787 of long-term required minimum distributions. All right, that's his RMDs table right here, his column. Now he also has 20,000 of pension, and he's got his Social Security of 32,800. So at 85 years old, 32,008. Well, I'll tell you what, just go up here. We can show you. So we take our provisional income. We got 32,800 Social Security. We have 33,000 of his required distributions. I think it's 33,700. It doesn't have to be exact. Plus his pension, and that's 53,700, 53700. And that means his taxable income will be $68,280. If that makes sense. That's his taxable income. You don't need to pay attention to this right here because that number right there is above his total Social Security balance, and you're not going to have higher taxes on Social Security than your Social Security amount. The max you can pay in Social Security is 85% of your benefit. And so we did the sidebar here because I didn't take the time to do this calculation to put down here. So anyway, that's the max. So his taxable income is $68,000. Now, as a side note, remember, he has modified adjusted gross income of $81,000, which is good because the minute he breaks $87,000, which would probably be the next year if he survives, what does that do to his Medicare premiums? So Medicare premiums are based on your income. You're not your gross or your taxable income, your gross income. So the minute that goes above $87,000, Medicare premiums increase. Oops. Premiums increase. All right. Having a hard time typing there. So keep that in mind. The minute this right here, your gross income goes above $87,000, Medicare premiums increase. So just delete that. Now, we're not there yet, but the following year or two, he certainly could be, and that would be something to consider for sure. All right, so let's go back to this. So at the end of the day, Barry pays $24,500 in the first 8 years of retirement from 62 to 70 in taxes, which is a whole lot better than the Roth conversion amount where he was paying, I think we had him paying $68,000. Yeah. So in the Roth conversion amount, he was paying $68,000 in the first 8 years, basically $8,000, almost $9,000 a year. And going back to Chris, that might be a row too far. So here he's paying $24,580, not doing any Roth conversions, but he will pay in the back end. He's going to pay a whole lot more on taxes as he gets older because his required distributions will be much higher. So what we do is we compare. He pays a total of $150,000 in taxes. All right. So that's the way it's going to be. Now he does leave a significant account to his heirs of roughly we'll just say $500,000. So the taxes aren't done here. That's the thing. If old Barry has a wife or kids or something like that, or he wants to leave it to his brother, all this is still taxed as ordinary income. So it might not be as a significant tax to him, but it's certainly someone's going to pay the tax later on, and that someone's going to be his heirs. Now, if he leaves it to charity, no big deal because they don't pay tax. But I don't know. I don't know what Barry's intention is. I just know I see a big, big tax bomb there. But that's it. So at the end of the day, when he comes, I'm going to come and do a brief on all three of these things. He ends up paying $150,000 in total taxes in this scenario. So we have three scenarios, and I'm going to talk on them real quick, and then I'll do a whole nother video on how each scenario works. He pays $150,000 in taxes in this scenario, which is just a couple thousand more than the first scenario we did, which is Barry takes his Social Security, all right, and at 62 and doesn't touch his IRAs until he's 70. So in terms of taxes, these are about the same. I'll give you a brief on how that works. With you have the Social Security at 62, Social Security at 70 with Roth conversions, and the Social Security at 70 with no Roth conversions. We'll do that next episode. So I hope this helps. I find it interesting, and I love this stuff because you can crunch this any day of the week, any which way you want. The only thing I got to tell them that, Chris, this is to you. You might pay less tax on the front end, but it's not going to be much less, relatively speaking. I mean, because on the back end, you're going to pay a whole lot more than you would on the front. And I'll get into that next video. But you just can't overlook the fact there's a significant tax burden here because you're leaving $500,000 to somebody. And so maybe biting the bullet a little bit more on the front end might be beneficial. And I'll talk about that here in just a second. So if you like what you see, subscribe, comments, man. Comments help me a lot. So please comment. A thumbs up too as well. Go to heritagewealthplanning.com is a blog, heritagewealthplanning.com, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.